Hi, the song that I felt most captures what I want to speak about today is actually an Arabic song. So for those who don't understand Arabic, please bear with me as I read the words in Arabic, and then I will give you the gist of the message afterwards in English. Here's what the song says. علمني أن أكون صامتا كما كنت يا سيدي تواجه الألام دربني دوما كي أصير مبطئا مفكرا بلا اندفاع في الكلام تركت لي أسمى مثال عندما كنت تجول داعيا إلى السلام معزيا مقويا وشافيا بلا ضجيج دون سائر الأنام أريد ربي حارسا على فمي لأستطيع أن أعيش في وئام ولا أكون معثرا لإخوتي بقولي بل أقودهم إلى الأمام. The Arabic song says, Lord, teach me to be silent like you were when you endured your suffering. Discipline me so that I could slow down, thinking first and not reacting with my words. You left me the most perfect example when you called people to your peace, comforting, strengthening, and healing without looking to be in the spotlight as other people would. Lord, I need a guard on my mouth so that I could live in harmony and peace, rather than be a stumbling block to others with my speech, but always lead them forward. You're listening to That Other Life. I'm your host, Richard Haddad. Rumours and those who spread them. What a topic. We can probably finish this whole podcast in 5 seconds. Gossiping is bad. Rumours are bad. Don't do them. I'll see you next week. Ta-na-na. Look at this guy. He's gone already. Hey man, come back. We're not done. I'm joking. There's no one there. Jokes aside though, gossip is a really serious topic. And it's a very dangerous one. And there are 2 reasons why gossiping is so dangerous. The first is that we take it so lightly and we refuse to see the weight of the damage that it causes. At least, not when we're doing it. It's a whole different story when someone else is talking about us, right? One person could spread other people's secrets and he'll be fine with it. But if you find him out and you talk about how he's spreading other people's secrets, he'll be offended. See, he shared what he shared with confidence. But when people shared their secrets with him and trusted him, well, there's no need to worry about their confidence. Now, I'm not making this up. This is true. We get offended when people share our secrets, but we're fine sharing other people's secrets. When people talk about us behind our backs, we get frustrated and we get angry. We must know about the damage that it causes, don't we? I read an article about the psychology behind gossiping, and it said that there are 8 main reasons why people gossip. The reasons were this. 1, they are envious of someone's lifestyle. 2, they can't reach someone else's level. 3, they want to have what that other person has. They doubt that person's authenticity. Number 4. Number 5, they want to put someone else down and make themselves feel better about their own shortcomings. Number 6, they don't know how to keep secrets. Number 7, they love to gossip and it's just a bad habit that they've made part of their lives. And number 8, they're just plain jealous. The article then said, whatever the reason behind gossiping, most people who do it are showing a sign of weakness. I suppose then if you know that people are gossiping about you, you should feel good about yourself. But that's not where the problem is, right? The problem is the damage that rumors cause. The article said that gossiping is natural. I agree. The article also said that men gossip just like women. And I strongly agree. But why am I referring to a psychologist's opinion on gossip? Well, it's because I don't want you to only take my opinion on what I'm about to say next. See, gossip and rumors will lead to 1, clinical depression, 2, post-traumatic stress disorder, 3, panic attacks, and these are in no particular order, by the way, and 4, suicide. You can ruin someone's reputation, someone's relationships, someone's friendships, and someone's life ultimately by gossiping and spreading rumors about them. And all for what? Because you're jealous of them? Or you can't get what they have? Or because you just want to get back at them? And let me add this. If you listen to gossip and you allow it to be spoken in front of you without trying to stop it or without doing anything about it, then that's just as bad as gossiping. You are letting negative talk affect your opinion of someone else. You may think there's a justifiable reason to talk bad about others. You may think there's a justifiable reason to listen to bad talk about others. But you'd be dead wrong. One great lesson I learned once about gossiping was from a family friend who told me this little story. He said a little girl once was spreading gossip about people and about her enemies to her friends. And the pastor of the church heard about it, and so he came up to the little girl and gave her a box full of feathers. And he said, what I want you to do is open the box and just throw the feathers everywhere. Just send them wherever you want. And so she did. She opened the box and she started throwing the feathers, and the wind took them this way and the wind took them that way. Some fell in the ocean, some went on the beach, some were taken by the birds, some whatever. It just went all over the place. And she thought she did her job. And so the pastor came back to her and he said, you did a great job. Now I want you to do something else. I want you to take that box, that empty box, and I want you to collect every single feather you threw. She said, it's impossible. He said, you're right. He said, that's how it is with gossip. When you spread talk about someone to this person, to that person, and then they spread it to that person and the other person, and then it just spreads and spreads and spreads, you're never going to be able to take those words back. What you've said is done. It's irreparable. It's impossible to fix. We refuse to see the weight of the damage that rumors and gossip can cause. And so we see them as a light thing. Worse, we justify it when it serves our purpose. In every case of gossip, the reason or the purpose behind it is to bring someone else down. Maybe we hate someone and we just want to crush them down. Or maybe we're hurt by someone, the person that we're talking about, and we still want to crush them down. Sometimes it's a little different though. Sometimes we just feel guilty about ourselves when we see someone else doing good. When we see someone else have a good reputation. When we see someone else having an influence on others and reaching out to others. And because we feel lazy about ourselves, we feel guilty that we're not doing those things. We come to a fork in the road. We can either be encouraged by that person. We can either tell ourselves, hey, that person is doing so much good in the world. I want to do the same. I want to get up and influence others. I want to get up and help others too. Or on the other hand, we can just sit back and say, hey, I can point to someone else's weaknesses, someone else's problems, someone else's issues. And I can tell people, hey, I know I'm not doing so much good in the world, but at least I'm not like that guy. At least I'm not playing a double life, even though you are. I can hurt someone else's reputation and make them look bad. And by doing that, I feel less guilty about myself. Say, hey, I may not be doing so much good, but at least I don't have this weakness. Remember last week how we talked about natural talent and how it's so different to spiritual discipline? We didn't discuss spiritual discipline, but we talked a lot about natural talent. How sometimes we look at ourselves and we see that we are strong in areas that others are weak in. And so we make them feel bad about their weaknesses in order to hide the weaknesses that we have in other areas of our lives. Sure, someone else is serving God in every way they can. Sure, someone else is reaching out. Sure, someone else is using every moment of their life, or at least as much as they can, to help others. But they've got a problem. And I don't have that problem. I may have others, but it's okay. I can shift the spotlight to someone else's problems, and I can look good in the process. We justify our laziness. We justify our disobedience. We justify our rebellious lifestyle by pointing at someone else and saying, hey, look at that guy. Hey, look at what he's done. Hey, look at his shortcomings. If you don't think that's true, may I suggest that you may be a culprit of this? But why is it that we take so much pleasure in seeing someone else's life fail? Or seeing other people's reputations get damaged? As Christians, we protest against all sorts of things and all sorts of lifestyles. Lifestyles that just don't look right in our eyes. Lifestyles that we're not comfortable with. Lifestyles that we don't like. But then gossip, we never talk about it. There's gossip within the church and we don't mention it. We don't protest against that. Now get ready for some Bible verses. And I don't think we've read these Bible verses. Because if we have, I don't think any of us, would be gossiping and would be spreading rumors. Proverbs 11 verse 3. We'll start with lighter ones. He who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy conceals a matter. Proverbs 16 verse 28 says, a perverse man spreads strife, and a slanderer separates intimate friends. Perverse and slanderer don't sound like words that you'd use to describe a follower of Christ, are they? Let's continue. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 18 says, "He who spreads slander is a fool." James chapter 1 verse 26 says, "If anyone thinks himself to be religious, and yet does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his own heart, this man's religion is worthless." Now we're getting into the good stuff. Romans chapter 1 verse 28 to verse 32. 28 to 32 of Romans chapter 1. It says, "They did not see fit to acknowledge God any longer. God gave them over to a depraved mind, to do those things which are not proper, being filled with all unrighteousness, wickedness, greed, and evil. They're full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, arrogant, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, without understanding, untrustworthy, unloving, unmerciful. And although they know the ordinances of God, that those who practice such things are worthy of death, they not only do the same, but also give hearty approval to those who practice them." Proverbs chapter 6 verse 16 to 19. "There are 6 things which the Lord hates, yes, 7 which are an abomination to him: proud eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that run rapidly to evil, a false witness who utters lies, and one who spreads strife among brothers." 6 things which the Lord hates. Yes, 7 which are an abomination to him. 3 of these 7 things are directly related to gossip: a lying tongue, a false witness who utters lies, and one who spreads strife among others. Someone might be thinking, "But I'm not lying. I'm spreading truth about someone." Well, don't worry. There are 2 things that cover you. Proud eyes, he says, because who gossips without being proud, right? And a heart that devises wicked plans. Matthew chapter 15 verse 11 says this, "It is not what enters into the mouth that defiles the man, but what proceeds out of the mouth, this defiles the man." And verse 18 says, "But the things that proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and those defile the man." So James tells us that gossipers aren't Christians. Paul tells us in Romans that gossipers are deserving of judgment just like murderers. They are both haters of God. And in Proverbs we read that gossip is involved in 5 of the 7 things that the Lord absolutely hates. I said in the beginning that there are 2 reasons why gossip and rumors are so dangerous. One is that we take them so lightly, and we refuse to see the weight of the damage that it can cause the people we're talking about. The second reason, and more importantly, why gossiping and rumors are so dangerous is because God hates them, and because people who do them are deserving of hell. Forget everything else for a moment. This right here is the sin that we should all be talking about. This is the sin that we should be protesting about. This is the sin that we should be standing against and saying, "No, I will not listen to it. No, I will not hear it. No, you cannot continue doing what you're doing." This was the second of 3 sessions regarding spiritual discipline. First, we spoke about being careful not to think that our natural strengths are a result of holiness. And today we discussed the dangers of gossiping and rumors, and that although we think we can justify it, we're actually taking part in a practice that God cannot stand whatsoever and is not soft on at all. Next week, God willing, our topic will be, what is spiritual discipline? And hopefully we can tie everything together and not take too long. Thank you for listening. I'm Richard Haddad, and these have been my thoughts on That Other Life.